Hey YouTube, it's been a minute. Hopefully you got a minute to talk a little bit about long-term food storage. For those of you that might be considering buying it, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Canadian Prepper. I don't know if you watch his channel, but he recently did a video on especially the food buckets. He's not a fan. I don't necessarily disagree with what he said, but I wanted to get a little more detail since I have some. I can speak from experience, right? So first off, you'll notice I've got the can up top and the food bucket below. The food bucket is the cheaper way to go. But if you're here for a short version, I'll simply say this: go for the cans. Go for, I can vouch for Mountain House to be better than the Ready Wise, quality wise. But more importantly, and I'll get into this more here in a minute, but the Mountain House, and I know Canadian Prepper especially talks about Peak Fuel or something. I've never had it, and a few others. I do recommend spending the money if you actually plan on using it. If you're using it as just a backup, just in case, like kind of I did, mind you, that bucket's probably about 10 years old. Actually, it's probably older than that now that I think about it, but I'm not new to having this. What I do want to get into detail about the buckets, if you're considering buying those, there's a couple of things that you need to know. First off, I'm not a real big guy, so I'm not a real big eater. There's 4 servings per package, and then there's multiple packages, of course, in the buckets. But as far as those 4 servings go, you might as well call it 3. Plan on doing 1 1/3 portions per person. And to give a reference, I'm sure a lot of you have eaten a box of macaroni and cheese. You know that meal doesn't carry very long if that's what you had for dinner. Next day you're going to be hungry that until you get a good meal the next one. Well, all of your meals are going to be like that. They're going to be not real long lasting, if that makes sense. Which I'm pointing that out because, again, some of the Mountain House you'll notice with chicken, and that's just one of many flavors. I just grabbed one can out. These have multiple. I'm not going to go through and read each kind, but I'll simply say this: only about 1/3 of them are good. And I say good loosely. Again, referring to Canadian Prepper's video, he didn't care for them. I've had them. I don't actually think they're that bad. It's a personal thing. I'm not knocking one way or another, whether you like them or you don't. That's up to you. But I don't think they're that bad. I'm just simply pointing out the portions aren't a lot. And if you're buying a bucket that has 60 meals, you're only probably going to truly like 20 of them. There are other benefits to having these, though, which is the other reason I wanted to post a quick video. Is, let's say you're in a position where, well, take what happened in North Carolina, Tennessee, depending on location, I suppose. Even if you don't like certain packages, if it's sealed food, give it to somebody close to you that might like it. If nothing else, that's a benefit. Or in a bad situation, you can trade it. Or there are many good benefits to having such a good long-term sealed meal in a package. So I guess to cut to the chase, if you are considering buying one of these buckets, if you want my honest opinion, I do recommend having the buckets if that's all you can afford, because they are cheaper to get more meals. I also do like the Mountain House much better. They're a longer lasting meal in itself, a little bit heartier of a meal, so to speak. And I do like the cans. That way, if they get beat up in travels or something like that, the can's going to take a little more of a beating. So that's my personal opinion. I'm not saying don't buy the buckets. I'm simply saying that if you actually plan on eating the food and you plan on using it, spend the money, get the better stuff. But if you're definitely just looking on a budget type of thing, I get the buckets. Like Canadian Prepper says, it's a marketing thing. And I get it. And I did fall for it, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I regret it. So, hope this helps. And if you're subscribed or made it this far in the video, I'm still here and I appreciate you sticking around. Hope everybody has a great day and talk to you again soon. Later, guys.